Where I am, I say good morning to parents or would-be parents. Other places, I say good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are. I'm reading chapter 8 of this book, Parenting Milestones, which was published in 2011. You may think why I bother about parenting so much. Everything that is happening in the society is caused by the type of upbringing or background that we were given or what we gave to our children. This really determines the future of the country or the generation. Chapter 8 talks about the challenges and joys of parenting. It reads thus: parenting ability is determined by the interest and readiness for it. Joys and challenges are also measured by the above factors. The joy and willingness to or not to carry out this noble task passionately determines the zeal and the success, as well as failures along the line. There is barely any task in life without challenges. But when it is seen as normal and achievable, especially if others have been through and are out of it successfully, then it's surmountable. The first source of joy is inspired by the love and passion for parenting your lovely children. The second source of joy is derived from the positive outcome seen in your children. The third is obtained from the benefits associated with parenting. That's the success. Fourthly and finally are the fulfillment, satisfaction, and pride which accompany this great accomplishment. Children are the greatest gifts of nature, which unfortunately do not come with instructional guide. It is expected that the life patterns of every family changes as children start coming and coming. These adjustments to accommodate children usually come with challenges to parents. These challenges can be environmental, physical, mental, social, moral issues, etc. This chapter gives useful insights into these resources and creative ideas which may be helpful to all parents. We talk about new parents. I'm talking about the young parents or those that are just having children newly, maybe mothers and fathers of babies. And I say, if only the baby could talk, the mother wishes, and tell me what he or she needs or wants, it would be much easier. So now that the baby cannot talk, to tell you what he or she needs, only cries, sometimes throw tantrums, make you uneasy, make you to lose balance and so many things. So what do? Then you have to devise means to read and understand your own child. Is there any danger of spoiling the baby? The answer is no, not in these early weeks. These early weeks, the baby's needs and wants are the same. And your challenge as a new parent is to discover what they are. A new baby is usually accompanied with some joy, excitement, and uncertainties. The mother is happy and relieved that the baby has come at last. The joy is always intercepted by the thought of the responsibility that accompanies it, because you cannot run away from it. The usual questions that may come to mind are, what kind of parent will I be? Did you ask yourself that question? The kind of parent you will be? Do I have the tools to do this work? Did you prepare for it? Because every task ahead should be prepared for with the right tools. There is nothing these days with the kind of children and the society that we are. You just think that parenting is a natural process, that as far as you can impregnate a woman or a woman can get pregnant, she has the ability or the go-ahead to become a successful parent. Parenting these days go beyond mere ability to get pregnant. So you must learn a lot while preparing for the coming of the baby. The next question is, how do I achieve this great objective? I've told you how to achieve it. Prepare for it. Read books written by seasoned parents. Attend workshops. Then get spiritually close to your child. Discuss with the baby while in the womb. Pray, touch your tummy and pray. Both of you pray for the coming baby. You don't know what the child is coming for. You do not know the purpose, but God knows. So commit that child into God's hands. Parenting, though natural, is better with experience and wisdom from God. Upbringing without God may not be successful. Why? Why? Because children are given by God. If you read Psalm 127 verse 3, it says, "Lo, children are heritage of the Lord." You are just like a baby sitter or a baby nurse or a guardian, but God has a script. In our culture, young parents were always given orientation. That's where I come from, Nigeria and the South. By the more experienced parents those days. I'm proud to say that my late mother was always with me to help in directing and guiding me on the care of my 4 babies. My mother was so helpful that I can count the number of times I bathed my newborn babies myself. Though she was working, she usually planned her annual leave to coincide with the time I would have my babies. I don't know how many mothers have that time these days. That's why I tell you to find time and prepare yourself, because you are no longer staying where your parents are. And I say, I wish more mothers can do this for their daughters. Because commitment to sustainable parenting is a key, as it is difficult because of the current economic and social challenges. This will provide practical experience, which is better than reading from books and internet. Apart from books and other forms of literature, there are some seasoned and successful parents who can offer valuable advice to the new parents. As I said before, a new parent being advised can decipher useful ones from the adverse ones. there should be an understanding that children are different, and what works for a child may not work for the other child. Because of this peculiarity, a parent should apply her experience, wisdom, and instinct in her upbringing. Because no one can understand their child better than them. Parents' ignorance and undefined values exposes a child to be guinea pigs to unreasonable people out there. There are older mothers who are ready to give dangerous and weird advice to new parents. They make pregnancy, childbirth, and parenting to appear difficult, laborious, unnatural, and impossible. Meanwhile, they have been there several times. This puts fear in young married women. When parenting is done with joy and according to God's guidance, it turns out easy and rewarding. And I tell new parents to bear in mind that their children need their affection. They need their guidance. They need their support and trust to adjust to the world which is new and strange to them. Their babies are totally helpless. Without them. Babies are totally helpless without them. Love and respect are needed by their children because they have their own personality, which may be quite different from theirs. 4, it is also good to be mindful that as parenthood starts, it will last as long as the parent and child are alive. What do I mean by that? Yes, the children grew. You do not need to guide them only to stop when they leave you. Because they leave you when they go to school, they form new set of companions. They have, if you are not careful, they fall prey to negative peer pressure. So that means you should be relevant in every stage of your child's development. It doesn't stop in the adolescent years. It doesn't stop in their young adulthood years. Yes, they move out, but the word of the wise and the older people, we call them the wise, should be words of wisdom. So you don't deprive your children of those words. Once in a while, you address them, you treat them according to their age and their experiences and their expectations. Give them the respect, but do not leave them totally alone. The next aspect we are going to talk about is managing time. Everyone knows the excitement and joy that come with babies. I tell my experience here that I was spending hours admiring my babies, especially the first one. The whole process is both a mystery and a puzzle. It is very easy to disorganize your whole routine because of this excitement. Before the coming of children, spouses manage their time to suit their different activities. But the coming of a new baby becomes something else. Spouses must make available time to include their to include them while still carrying on with their normal daily activities. Parents need to plan their life to avoid crisis and conflicts. Proper organization of time and management should be integrated into parenting. Children's time should apportion for sleep, play, eating, studying, and for doing other things. If this is not done, chaos will set in, and parents will be inattentive to other aspects of life. Once time is well utilized, everybody is happy and productive. Having a pre-planned menu in the kitchen saves time, particularly when there is not so much variety to choose from. Have your family menu on your kitchen shelf and adhere to it religiously, but the routine will go as long as possible, as long as you want it to be. And it can be quite exciting and saves a lot of time. I noticed this practice lasts only for a few years after marriage for most wives. Why do couples not keep these excitements longer in their homes? Apart from deriving satisfaction in doing things alone, some parents still view their children as babies. Because of this, they are afraid to involve them in simple house chores. But lamentably, in some of our cultural settings, these same parents engage in other younger children to do those chores, forbidden by their children. Unknown to them, they help to train other children while leaving theirs untrained. I want to give my experience that my first two children were 3 and 4 when they started making our beds and their beds. My children started cooking simple food like rice, pancake, akara, while still in their primary and secondary school. By the time they are 15 years of age, they are able to cook excuse me, virtually everything. Apart from helping them to acquire knowledge, parents maximize their useful time, have less stress, and also maximize their confidence. Children also feel useful, relevant, and independent. Even when they are alone, they are capable of taking care of themselves. When parents spend time to train children to do things by themselves early enough in their life, they maximize their time for self-growth and development. This also has to do with teaching your children financial literacy, exposing them to earning habits, which is written in later chapter of this book. If you do not teach your children how to make money, how to be financially stable and independent, they fall prey to many vices in the future. This is extreme laziness. Everything we do in life, a very high percentage, go to providing food on the table. That's the basic need of every human being. It can then progress to other needs according to Maslow's law. Different needs will come in, but first of all, you have to satisfy hunger. Before you think of even clothing, hunger first. Clothing will come in, safety will come in, and others. So if you do not bring up your children well, this is why we have so much stealing in the society, immorality, girls not ready to work, young men going into vices like drugs, even women too, and so many things. Kidnapping, armed robbery, so many things. So if you do not give proper parenting to your children, it will either lead to joy, if not joy, it will be what? Challenges. So please, parents, spend time to bring up your children well, to secure a better future. Thank you. Till next time.